Hi guys, welcome back to Economic Street. I'm Ola.
And I'm Nicholas.
And we're here to answer a few questions following the election results in the UK. Before we start, what did you actually think about it, Nick?
It was an interesting result. You could see that everyone thought that Labour were going to lose by a landslide, but although they didn't win, they had a pretty decent results and stopped the Conservatives from getting a majority in the government.
Yeah, I'm quite shocked as well because, like you said, it's not the outcome we were expecting.
Yeah.
I also thought she was going to step down, but that's an entirely different situation.
I think she's going on a bit like Wenger. She's not leaving. she's here for the long run.
Let's not talk about Arsenal today. Don't upset me. That's my team.
No, on a serious note, I think it's more to do with stability. I think with the Brexit negotiations being around the corner, I think it's more of an interim thing. Me personally, I don't see her being here for the long term.
Okay.
I think her position is quite untenable,
right,
because of the position that she put her party in. But I think for stability, as much as there can be, I think
strong and stable.
Yeah, I think she's stayed to try and help towards the beginning of the Brexit negotiations, which are only in nine days now. So I think that's why
she's staying on for now.
She's staying on, but yeah, she's going on like Wenger. She's not moving for no one.
Cool. So what we're going to talk today about is the fact that we've actually got some few questions coming in following the election results. People want to know how certain things work. So let's start with the first one.
No problem.
So the first one was that we received from some of our audience is the fact that they want to understand what a hung parliament is and how it works and what that actually means for the Conservative Party.
Yeah, so a hung parliament is where there's no majority winner.
Explain what majority is.
So in for the UK, to become a majority, you need to get 326 seats.
Out of, is it 650?
I think 650 in total. So you need to get 326 seats in the Houses of Parliament.
Okay.
So that allows you to then have what's called a majority government.
Okay. So which means you can basically pass laws and legislation without it being vetoed by another party.
Correct. So that means you've got enough seats in your own party to pass through legislations in Parliament.
Okay.
So it makes it easier to govern in the long run. So as you can see, where hung parliament comes in, no one's actually got to that magical 326 seats.
Right, okay.
So although the Conservatives
had the most seats,
they didn't get the majority. So in effect, they won and lost the election.
I see.
You can see where you're coming from. So they won it in the sense of because they got the most seats, but they didn't get that crucial majority. So in fact, they actually lost seats from what they had previously. So they actually did have...
Because they did have a majority before, 330, I believe.
Correct.
And so now they're down.
Now they're down. So where Theresa May was backing to hopefully get more, she actually put her party in a weaker position because she's got less seats. So that's where a hung parliament comes into play.
Which is why now they're talking to the DUP from Northern Ireland.
Correct.
Right, okay.
So what they're trying to do is squeeze themselves over the threshold by having a negotiation. It's a bit like back in 2010 with what happened. There was a hung parliament then. And what happened was we had the Lib Dems and the Conservatives go. It was a bit different. They went into actual coalition. Right, so where that was, they actually found common ground that they had with each other.
Which is why you had some of the Lib Dems actually having seats in the cabinet.
Correct. For example, you had Nick Clegg,
Deputy Prime Minister.
So what they formed a pact with each other to pass through legislations to help what they see as stabilising the economy.
Okay, cool. Next question we've got. Let me just bring it up. We've had quite some interesting questions actually come through.
It's going to be interesting times.
Yeah. So, what are the implications for hung parliament on the economy? That was the next question. And to add to that, they said, and consequently, how does that impact discretionary income, mortgage applications or approvals, house prices? They wanted to know everything. How does it also, impact income via jobs, immigration, wage growth, inflation?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Questions there. Well,
yeah.
In a broader sense, it's as in markets, so the financial
markets. Okay.
They like stability,
uncertainty.
So where having a hung parliament is, it gives you uncertainty. So as you've seen already, when we got the results, the pound fell in value.
Yeah.
So that's the markets
Reacting to that
and
news.
pricing in the uncertainty of we don't know what's going to happen. So in terms of then house prices and inflation, and
I said it just depends on which government actually comes in the
comes in there. So technically, she's still there is a small chance. I don't see it happening now though, where she still might not even form a government because they might not come to an agreement, and you may see Jeremy Corbyn going up to the Queen to ask to form a government. That's
small chance.
Small chance. That's very unlikely, but that's still even a possibility of hoping happening.
Okay. When I got this question come through, I was like, wow, because I was still laughing at the election results. So what I said is, what you've said is the uncertainty. The markets don't like it. They price that into the value of the pound.
Yeah.
And with the value of the pound now falling, it means inflation is likely to pick up. And the reason for that is because we import a lot of goods that we need. So like a lot of the food in the supermarkets and your Tesco's and Asda's comes from Europe and further afield. Yeah. And because of the fact that it's going to cost us more to buy that from abroad, the prices of these items will go up, and therefore inflation picks up.
Correct.
Because inflation is about prices rising.
Correct. So that is a possibility.
Okay, cool. Next question. We've said that inflation is likely going to pick up with a weaker pound.
Yeah.
That means people's incomes technically fall, real income, because they can't buy as much anymore. Yeah, with a weaker pound. What steps can they take to mitigate this?
Depends on how, I say, their risk tolerance, investment tolerance. So it depends. So you could try and invest to then negate the effects of inflation. Okay, so just to break that down, that means if the pound is fallen by, 2%, and therefore you have 2% less to spend in real terms because you can buy 2% less of stuff. Correct. That means you need to be able to compensate for that fall by investing in investments that will give you more than a 2% return. Correct. Okay. So that's negating the effect of inflation. Okay. But again, I said that depends on people's risk appetite. When I mean, not everyone wants to go and invest or are confident enough to go and invest. So they would have to go and look into it and research that. That's a way of negating the effects of inflation. Okay. Anything else? Now you have bonds, so you have which are quite safer. So it's a bond, so you have inflation index linked bonds. So that's a way of trying to negate the impacts of inflation. Okay. The other thing I was going to suggest was perhaps if they look for cheaper alternatives. So rather than shopping in your Asda and Tesco's, go to Lidl and Aldi instead. That's great, yeah. That's for the everyday man. I didn't even think about it. That's actually a good answer. In terms of for the everyday person, it's about quickly managing. Yeah, so it's about opening your eyes and looking at places that you wouldn't elsewhere go. Okay. So as you said, actually, with the Lidls and the Aldis, they've had a big impact actually in the last 3 to 4 years, a big impact on the economy in terms of where people go to shop. As in they've actually taken market share from the likes of Tesco's and Sainsbury's, and people want more for their pound. So yeah, that in terms of what they can do right now, instead of that's something they could go out tomorrow and change their shopping habits. That's something that can do right away. Awesome, thank you. Any final comments in terms of what people should look out for in the next few weeks? Definitely pay attention to what's going to be happening in the Brexit negotiations. I said we're going to be doing another episode on that actually, of how we think Brexit may go and the implications of Brexit. But that's something in the short to medium term to watch out for. And also when Parliament reconvenes in September, what's going to happen? Will Theresa May still be there? Will she not be there? Will there be a leadership election? Who knows? So these are the things to look for in the short to medium term. Cool. Awesome. Thanks for that. So guys, that was a quick digest of the UK election results, a quick Q&A. Keep sending in your questions and we'll try our best to answer them. Look up for more on Economic Street Bits coming to you. Goodbye. Cheers. Bye-bye.